Here I have taken half a cup of mixed nuts. I have taken 1 tablespoon of almonds, 1 tablespoon of melon seeds, 1 tablespoon of this kalonji, 1 tablespoon of cashew, everything 1 tablespoon mixed. Here you can take whatever you want. I have added dates to it, tutti frutti, cherries, candied cherries, then pine nuts, then some cucumber seeds, then some dates, raisins, everything I have added mixed. I have taken half a cup and I have soaked it in 1 cup of orange juice. Now either you can use ready-made juice like this. 1 carton will do. This is 200 ml. So you can soak it in 1 cup of orange juice, or you can even use fresh orange juice. Squeeze orange and take fresh orange juice. So I have soaked it. You need to soak it for minimum half an hour, maximum how much ever time you want. If you want to do it immediately, just half an hour soaking is enough. Now apart from this, I have soaked 1 teaspoon of Sabja seeds. Now these are Sabja seeds. These are available in the market. This gives a nice gel-like consistency. In order to replace egg and give that moistness and fluffiness, we can use this. I have taken just 1 teaspoon and I have added 2 tablespoons of water, and you can see how much it has come up to. And I took 1 small piece of this Badam resin, or it's even called gondh. I have taken that and I have added 2 tablespoons of water to it, and here we have a gel-like consistency. Now we are going to use this in place of egg. Now if you don't have this, or if you don't want to use this, you can take flax seed and for 1 cup of flour you can take 1 or 2 teaspoons of flaxseed powder with 3 tablespoons of water. Now that will give a nice gel-like consistency. In short, to replace 1 egg, 1 teaspoon of flaxseed powder and 3 tablespoons of water, that will do. Now I have removed the skin of orange. I have kept it ready. I have made it into small pieces. Now I have not taken this white color. This white color gives a bitter taste. So I have taken only the orange part of it. Now if you don't have this, you can always use candied orange. Now candied orange peel is available in the market. It will be like this. You can even cut this and use it. I am going to add both these to a blender and blend it well so that we get a nice smooth paste. So this I am going to do, and here the bigger pieces of almonds and the bigger pieces of anything, I am going to cut it and make it into small pieces and keep this ready. Now I have chopped them into small pieces using a scissor. I prefer soaking it and then chopping it into small pieces. It is so easy doing it with a scissor. If you want, you can put it in the mixer, just pulse it once or twice and then add it to the juice. I'm adding the Sabja seeds and the Badam resin. I'm going to blend it. Now this is ready. I'm going to keep it aside. You can see that it is nice jelly-like. It retains a lot of moisture and gives the cake a nice moisture. Now the Sabja seeds need soaking for just 15 minutes or 20 minutes, but the Badam resin or the gondh requires some extensive soaking, maybe for 1 hour or 2 hours, for it to fully bloom and dissolve in the water. So please plan accordingly. So I'm going to set this aside too. I have taken a small piece of cinnamon bark, taken a bit of nutmeg or jaifal and 6 cloves. Now if you have powders of these, you can take quarter teaspoon of or 1 or 2 pinches of it according to your preference. Now this is not mandatory, but it gives a nice taste to the plum cake like the original ones that we get in the shops. Now to this I am going to add a little bit of dry ginger powder too. Now I don't have powders of these, so I'm going to blend this in the jar. I'm adding these to the jar, mixie jar. These won't get powdered by themselves because the quantity is very small. So I'm going to add 1 or 2 teaspoons of granulated white sugar and I'm going to powder it. If you have powders of all these, well and good. I'm going to blend it into a powder now. Now this is powdered. Now let's see the dry ingredients. Here I have 3/4 cups of gram flour. Now to this I'm going to add corn flour and fill the cup. So around 2 or 2.5 tablespoons of corn flour. Going to add it to the sieve. I'm taking half a cup of almond flour. Blanch the almonds. After removing the skin, wipe it with a cloth, dry it well and then pulse it in the mixer grinder and you will get a powder, almond powder like this. Almond powder is also available readily in the market. Now in case you don't want to use almond powder or you don't have almond powder, you can even use cashew powder or pista, badam, cashew, everything put together. A mix of any nut flour will be good in this. To this I'm going to add the spices that we blended. I'm going to add a pinch of salt. Salt enhances the sugar taste, so I'm going to add this. Now in case you're going to use baking powder and baking soda for this recipe, you can add half a teaspoon of baking powder and quarter teaspoon of baking soda. Now I however prefer using Eno. I think that gives this cake nice fluffiness, so I'm not going to add this now. I'm going to sieve it well now. I prefer using Eno for this. This I'm going to use it only in the end. I'm adding 2 tablespoons of milk powder to this. Milk powder gives a nice taste. Sieve everything well together. Now the dry mixed is sieved and ready. Now let's prepare the syrup that gives the color to the plum cake. Here I have taken 3/4 cup of palm sugar. If you don't have palm sugar or if you don't want to use palm sugar, then you can use the traditional unrefined sugar. This too gives a good color to the plum cake. Or if you don't have both of these or if you don't want to use both of these, you can go with the traditional sugar. Now the traditional sugar, you can take 3/4 cups or 1 cup according to your sweet preference. You can take it, put it on a pan and heat it. Do not mix it, just leave it like that. When it becomes brown color, if you have taken 3/4 cup of sugar, add half the amount of water to it, or one cup of water to it, not more than that, and mix it slightly. You will get a nice caramel syrup that you can use it for the plum cake. Now I'm not going to use white sugar. I'm going to use only this palm sugar. Now 3/4 cup I'm adding to the pan. I'm going to add 1 cup of water to this. It is not 1 cup, so I'm adding a little more. I'm going to heat this. Now if you are using this palm sugar, there is no need to make syrup out of it. We are just going to dissolve and sieve it because it might contain dust. This gives a nice color to the plum cake, as well as it is very healthy. It has a very low glycemic index, so it doesn't increase your sugar level in the blood that easily. So I'm using this. Heat till this dissolves completely, and then we are going to sieve it, cool it, and then add to our plum cake. Now it is dissolved well. I'm going to sieve it. You can see that there are some dust particles. They also add dry ginger to this palm candy, so you can see those skins too here. Now keep this aside to cool. Let it cool completely. Now to a pan, I'm going to add this dry fruit and orange mix, and I'm going to reduce it. Christmas is never without plum cake. I believe the usual plum cake recipes they start preparing 1 month ago by soaking all these in rum, and then they use it and they do it like a function in many places. This is a very simple recipe, instant. You can do it in a single day. There is no soaking or anything required, and that doesn't mean that there is compromise in the taste too. And we are not using all-purpose flour. We are using gram flour and almond flour, which are very healthy, and no sugar. We are using palm sugar. So I've tried to make this as healthy as possible. We have to just reduce it and make this dry so that we can add it to the batter. It will take around 10 minutes for this. It's almost 7 minutes now. You can see that it is dry. I'm going to remove from heat. I'm going to spread it on a plate and let it cool well. Let this cool well. I'm adding a tablespoon of corn flour to the cooled nuts mix that we have kept, and I'm going to coat it well. Now this will prevent the nuts from sinking to the bottom and getting charred. Now the dry fruit and nuts mix is ready. I'm lining the cake tin with a little oil. I'm going to line it with the parchment paper and apply some more oil on top. Now to a mixing bowl, I'm adding 1/4 cup of oil You can take any oil of your choice, or if you want to add butter, you can even add melted butter. To this, I am adding vanilla essence, 1 teaspoon. This is optional. If you want, you can add, otherwise you can even leave it. I'm going to add this Sabja and Badam resin mix. With the help of a whisk, I'm going to mix them well. I'm adding 1/4 cup of milk cream, fresh cream to this. Now in case you don't have fresh cream or you don't want to add, you can even add milk. Please add full fat milk. Now whisk again together. I've beaten this well. I have measured 1 cup of the palm sugar syrup that we made. I'm going to mix it. Give it a good mix. Now we have taken all the wet ingredients. Now I'm going to add this sieved dry flour mix, tablespoon by tablespoon, and slowly mix it in. It is a good idea to mix it without switching on the hand mixer and then switching it so that it doesn't fly everywhere around. There's no need to over mix, just slight mixing in is enough. Keep adding little by little. Till the whole mix is mixed together. Now I have mixed the whole dry flour to the wet mix. It appears a little bit thick. The batter appears a little bit thick. I have some extra cream here. I'm going to add little just to get the consistency of the batter right. The sabja seeds and the resin soaks up so much moisture. It is still thick. Going to add some more. Now adjust this according to the amount of cream that you add till you get a nice cake like batter. I have added 1/4 cup more of cream to this. Now the consistency seems to be like the cake batter. To this I am going to add around a teaspoon of orange peel, which I have finely chopped. And now I am going to also add the nuts and dry fruit mix to this. Mix everything well. Now when you remove this, if you remove it slowly up, you can remove all the batter stuck to the hand blender. If you slowly remove it up, now scrape down the sides. Now this is the consistency what we are looking for. I'm going to preheat the oven to 180 degrees centigrade. Now adding Eno will be the last step that we are taking. I have preheated the oven at 180 degrees centigrade. My oven takes around 5 to 6 minutes to preheat. So I'm going to start adding Eno when it is 3 minutes. So it will be correct when it finishes preheating. I'm adding 1 tablespoon of honey to this batter. Honey gives a nice softness to the cake. Now the sweetness in palm sugar, sweetness in the dates that we have added, the tutti frutti, the candied cherries, the raisins, so the sweetness in everything. So please adjust the sweet according to your preference. If you want, you can even add some more sweet. I'm adding 1 teaspoon of Eno now. Give it a slight mix. Once you add Eno, you'll be able to see that the cake batter becomes fluffy. The effervescence starts. Mix it slightly and we can pour it into the prepared cake tin. You can see that the cake batter is nice, foamy, and you can see the effervescence well now. Now pour this into the prepared cake tin. Tap it a few times. Now my oven is preheated and ready. I'm going to keep it inside and bake for 25 minutes. Now after 25 minutes, I'm going to check whether it is done. The skewer, I think it needs to be kept for 5 more minutes. Oven temperatures vary, so please adjust according to your oven's temperature. Now I'll keep for 160 degrees centigrade 5 minutes. What seems to be done now. It's come out clean. So our plum cake is ready. Let it cool down. Our plum cake is cooled off a bit. You can see that the sides there, it has started leaving. So I'm going to remove it from the thing. I've kept it in the wire rack to cool further. You can see how spongy it is. It springs back. I've inverted the cake tin now. We have a yummy, gluten-free, healthy, protein-rich plum cake. See how soft it is. You can see that it is nice, soft and fluffy like the regular plum cakes. It tastes very too. You'll never be able to say that we made this out of gram flour. Please try this recipe. If you like this video, please click the like button, share this with your friends, try this recipe and give your comments in the feedback section, and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you.